Hello everyone, welcome back to Passion Fruit. My camera's a bit dark today and that's probably a good thing on my part for me. Probably can see my eyes look a little swollen. I got some bad news today. My grandmother passed away this afternoon in the hospital. So, so these are swollen from crying and rubbing my eyes a lot. I'm calm at the minute. I have been on and off today, but it's been an odd day today. I'm at peace with her passing. I've got my candle lit for her, and I have to say that I kind of find during these times, in my own personal experience, when going to the hospital, I kind of feel that there are some unnecessary security placements in hospitals. I think it's really ridiculous that when you step out of a lift, you have nowhere to go other than to step back into the lift, because the restriction of going into the hospital and all the doors, you can't get through them. Now, my experience today was I stepped off the floor and the two doors going into the wards were shut, and all you have are the touch card system that open the door. So you touch the card to it and it releases the lock and you can open the door. There was no button to push to call for attention. There was no intercom to speak to somebody. I don't even recall seeing hand sanitizer dispensers or anything like that either. I got a little annoyed because yesterday, when I got a notification that my grandmother had taken a turn, which was kind of midway through the day yesterday, around about 3 p.m. in the afternoon, around that time, 4 p.m. I sporadically tried to kind of call. I'd been told to because she was in intensive care, that you needed to make an appointment in order to go in and see her, which is fair enough. Intensive care needs a controlled environment of amount of people. It's people that are really ill. So, I understand the need to control the foot flow of people coming in and out. No problem. So I was given contact details, and from the moment I found out, I kept trying to ring the hospital. I'd ring the hospital, it would ring. I'd give it a few minutes, 10, 20 minutes. Try again, nothing. Give it a few minutes, go make a cup of tea, come sit down. Try again. Now, I had a bit of I guess you could say, kind of a breakdown, 3 years ago. I think I was kind of slowly progressing to it anyway, but I just kind of completely broke down, and I'm not the same person that I was. Completely different. Something that I realised really today. But I don't get on with my family. Well, I guess it's not a case of I don't get on, but I just kind of feel that I just find them a negative vibes for me. I can't be around them. They just bring out the worst in me. Too long a story to go into, but they just bring out the worst in me. So for my own peace of mind and mental health, especially while I'm kind of going in recovery, it's been 3 years since I kind of I can't be around them. I just need to stay away with them until I kind of find some calm, I guess. So yeah, so I have no contact with them to kind of discuss what's kind of going on and stuff. So I tried to call the hospital. That's how I was told. My daughter was the one who gave me the details and stuff for the hospital. So I just wasn't having any luck getting through. So in my experience, I just kind of, kind of find that I start getting wound up really quite easily, and my anxiety kind of kicks off, and I start pacing because I'm like, it's worse when I've got no con- contact with people to kind of find what's going on. Like when you just kind of feel like you've got no direction to go to. I kind of was started getting myself dressed and ready and everything like that, and because it was, it's Sunday yesterday, so I had been in pajamas kind of all day, so and I wasn't getting through to the hospital and stuff. So I started getting myself ready, and getting out my pajamas and yeah, getting my little bag together and stuff. And then I thought I'd ring the extension number, my grandmother's extension number, directly to her bed. So I did, and I got through to a person there, and they were like, "Oh yeah, she's kind of can't really talk at the moment. She's just kind of seeing somebody at the minute and stuff like that." So I don't know if somebody was there. So I kind of explained that I was trying to ring to come and see her, and they were like, "Oh, we'll ring the reception. There should be somebody." So I again tried to ring the main number. I wasn't getting luck again, so I rang again. The person spoke to said, she's quite weak at the moment. You can only really make the appointment through the reception area and stuff like that. So I kind of was starting to get annoyed. And so I started recording at this point. So I have a recording from this point on, me ringing the reception. And it was probably, it must be at least an hour and a half, 2 hours by this point. So it's coming on to 5 o'clock. And I'd been told that visiting hours were up until 7. So now I'm conscious that it's kind of getting to it was 5:30. That I'm kind of running out of time now, and that thankfully it was Paddington Hospital in London. I won't name the hospital itself, just that location. But yeah, I finally got through. I completely lost where I was going. I remember where I was. So yeah, Paddington's not that far from where I am. It was just a few stops, so it wasn't far. So I was prepared to go down there, but I was conscious time was kind of going by, and that she was kind of not well. So for me, every moment was precious. So I started recording at this point. The guy that I spoke to the third time when I rang through the extension, when I got fed up calling, was just downright I tried to stay calm, but at the same time it was frustrating. I found him really rude and ignorant too. I explained to him that once we established that it was my family member, I explained that I was who I was and stuff like that, a family member, granddaughter, and that I didn't have a very good relationship with family and stuff like that, and I've been informed of her being in hospital, you know, blah blah blah, all the usual. Um, just kind of their attitude was like, you know, again, I was trying to, they're passing me off again to the reception. You need to go in reception. I'm like, there's nobody bloody answering the phone. Send somebody over. And then he tried to blag me off with the times to ring kind of thing, where, you know, yeah, it doesn't show that online. It says it's a 24-hour service, and considering the circumstances, it should be. But yeah, I don't, it just was just, then he put the phone down on me, basically. Like, for me, you know, he kept saying to me about, you know, well, we've spoken to the family. Like, who the fuck am I? I'm family, you know, I am family too. You know, my grandmother was one out of 11 children. Did he speak to all of them? And then their siblings too, you know, like, I just kind of, I struggle when it comes with family and stuff. I've always kind of felt segregated, really, and um, outcast and alone, and it was just something I really didn't need to hear from this man. So, and it was a trigger for me. It really was a trigger. Um, he put the phone down on me, which just fucking made me even madder. Then when I got to the hospital today, I did my best to keep my mouth shut, and then the nurse turned around, and just as we were going to go through the door, my grandmother was on the way down to the hospital, so she was already passed. I didn't go straight to see her. I went to the chapel. I said a prayer because my grandmother was very religious, and it was more mark out of respect for her than something that I practice. I went and said a prayer for her on her behalf rather than for myself. But I did light candles for myself in respect for those that have passed before me. You know, the things you do when you go to church. So anyway, I didn't go straight to see her, but when I came up, the coming out of the lift and in this ridiculous bloody corridor that you can't get out of, my daughter grabbed the attention of the nurse. I again got my camera out and started recording. A nurse came out and spotted that I'd started recording, and you can hear, you know, I'm okay. From this point on, I did my best to try and keep my mouth shut and buttoned and not say anything, just kind of nod and stuff like that, because I knew I'd get angry and upset. So we're going through the doors. We've gone past the family room. The family's all in there. I tried not to look and stuff. We've gone through these doors, and then there's this next door to go through. My grandmother's bed's just there. And the nurse decided to stop and turn around. And she went, I think she said, like, she was thinking my grandmother's nurse, and she said, "Are you okay?" For me, it was just kind of like, I just wanted her to get out of the way. I I was already prepared to see my grandmother, and, you know, obviously I've just lost my grandmother. I think asking the question, "Are you okay?" is just not the right question to ask somebody. Maybe, "Are you ready?" Are you ready? Are you ready for the, are you ready for this, to see this? She then kind of closed the door, you know, to insinuate we weren't going through that door. We were going to stay here and have a little chat. I just, again, I kicked off with him a little bit, calmly. difficult as some people might find that. Calmly, I was kicking off, but still kind of saying, you know, basically I just wanted them to move out of my way. I wanted to see my grandmother. I just remember just like seeing the curtain pull back and just seeing her lying there on that bed and her mouth was open. It's just a natural bodily thing. I just moved that nurse out of my way and just went and gave my grandmother a hug. I sound kind of silly. She was cool to the touch. She was cool. But I just wanted to put my arms around my grandmother and see her and be able to say my goodbyes to her. Her body. And I mean her body is in physical form. I know she's not there no more. But to say goodbye to the body, I also kind of felt my grandmother was there when my dad passed away. Her and my aunt. So for me it was important to pay her the respect that she deserved. So yeah, it's the first time that's not true. It's the second time I've seen a dead body. It's the first time it's been somebody really close to me like that. And I don't know if maybe because she was old and I knew it was coming, but I feel at peace. I'm obviously sad that she's gone and she's never, but I still feel at peace as well for her. It was strange. I was there for a while with her. I was there for a while and just kind of, you know, did my own kind of private things for goodbye. And I'm sure people got different ideas or have done their own goodbyes will understand that they say goodbyes. I'm not going to share that with you, that's personal for me. But I don't know, I just kind of felt it was important to share that here. It's been an unusual day. I came back, then my daughter, it's been incredible today. But I kind of felt I lost myself in my own mentality and selfishness and thinking, because that's the way my mental recovery is at the moment, that I didn't even think about how today may have affected my daughter. She's lost her great-grandmother, who she was lucky enough to have known, and she's 24, so she's had a good part of her life to know her great-grandmother. But I've kind of forgotten about how she might be feeling in this today. We both have our kind of things. She, with me and my kind of way at the moment, I then triggered her off a little bit. So obviously, because it's such a stressful kind of time, but I didn't even think about it until I kind of came home and was by myself. And I think the other thing I noticed about that too is that we really do put on a brave face to some degree, some of us, in front of certain people or family members. And it's a shame that we feel more relaxed or comfortable to do it when we're by ourselves. After I left my daughter, I kind of seemed to kind of distract myself, which I did the same thing when my dad passed. You kind of throw yourself in a direction, try and avoid how you're feeling. Maybe that's another reason why I've done this video, but yeah, you throw yourself into distraction and not address what's kind of going on. Other than what I kind of shared, I don't know what else how else I feel. I feel alright that she's gone, that she's at peace, and I know that she wanted it for a while as well. She kept kind of saying, as she was getting to the last kind of year, that she just kind of got frail and weak, and I guess she knew it was coming. So I kind of feel comfort that she's got her wish and that she's at peace. I don't know if that's wrong or right, but I feel at peace for her. I'm hoping I haven't damaged the relationship with me and my daughter though today, because she's kind of dealing with her own stuff too, and she was trying to be so supportive today and loving, and yeah, but she didn't cry in front of me. I don't know if she was trying to stay strong because of me, that she didn't feel she could. I wanted to do this video so at least that there is always going to be something that will commemorate my grandmother passing, I guess. Because once it's online, it lasts forever, doesn't it? So, I wish I could put the videos that I took up on into this video and just make it one nice complete video. But I don't have a laptop. Hopefully I might be able to save up for one and get a new one now. We'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. Anyway, this video isn't really for liking and subscribing and bell notifications. I think this is more for me, this video. So, if you got to the end, thanks for listening to me ramble on, and say a prayer for your loved ones and light a candle. And make sure you tell them that you love them every day, even if you don't get on with them. It's one kind of thing I'm thankful for, that I did get to speak to her. And the last words I said to her were, I love you, so I have no guilt there. So yeah, love. Tell somebody at least that you love them every day.